It's more abundant than sand. More powerful than any source of energy. Invisible to the naked eye, yet packed with the potential to impact almost every aspect of our lives. It is data. And it's the driving, unseen force behind the next great wave of the technology revolution. The pace of world-changing invention and innovation continues to accelerate. It may not always be clear where the future of technology is going, but it is clear where that future begins.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Intel Corporate Vice President and General Manager of Client Computing Group, Mr. Gregory Bryan.
All right. Good afternoon. 下午好，欢迎。Welcome. I'm so happy to be back here in Taipei, and I'm thrilled to be with you at Computex today. You know, after spending about 6 years of my life at Intel living in Asia, it just feels like I'm coming home today to be in Taiwan, to be in Taipei. So many of my old friends and colleagues are here, and it just feels great to catch up. And now as the leader of client computing at Intel, I have to say it is a very, very exciting time to be in technology. We are experiencing one of the most important times, a time of profound transformation in the industry that's going to fundamentally change the way we live, the way we work, and the way we interact. As you all know, our world is quickly becoming more smart and more connected. Now, as you heard in the video, it may not always be clear where the future is taking us, but one thing is very clear. It starts with all of us, and it starts with data. Some of the most remarkable technology transformations that are happening today are all fueled by and directly related to our ability to collect, to analyze, and to otherwise use data. It's these new uses of data that are going to drive transformations and new experiences in unexpected ways, and we're going to talk about several of them today during this time that we have together. But to truly understand the profound nature that this data is going to have on us, I think it's important to start with just the sheer magnitude of the data that we're expecting. By 2025, we estimate that about 80 billion devices will be connected to the internet. That's up from about 11 billion devices today. And what's significant about this is we're not just talking about phones and PCs. Soon, devices like autonomous cars and drones and devices in the smart home are going to be connected to the internet, and that is going to very quickly lead to the explosion and growth of data creation and consumption. Now here's why. By the year 2020, the average individual, the average person will generate about 1.5 gigabytes of data a day. Now that may sound like quite a lot by today's standards, but it pales in comparison to the data that's generated by, for example, an autonomous car, which should generate about 4 terabytes of data in a day. 4 terabytes. Or a connected airplane, which will send and receive about 5 terabytes of data a day. Or a single smart factory. Just one factory alone could generate up to about a petabyte of data in one day. A petabyte of data. That's essentially the same amount of data that could be generated by 700,000 people. We're obviously talking about major data. So without question, we all have to evolve to keep up with this influx. And at Intel, we want to be on the forefront of this change. Now why? Because we have what it takes to power this new smart and connected world and every segment in it. And we want to work with you, our industry partners, to not only power these segments, but to transform the technologies into exciting new experiences. So to do this, we had to transform as a company from a PC company to a data company, using a strategy that takes advantages of all the assets that we have. And we call this the virtuous cycle of growth. So these assets from the cloud through the network to the edge devices like the PC and the Internet of Things and round back again, accelerated by technologies like memory and FPGAs, are all connected and they're all powered by data. And the more of the data that gets created, the faster that cycle moves. And the faster that cycle moves and grows, the more opportunity there is for all of us. And probably most importantly, I think we're set to witness some of the most profound changes in experiences in technology that we've ever seen in areas like the cloud, in IoT, and yes, certainly the PC. So, let me start in the cloud, where the power of data is really unleashed. Now, you all know the cloud not only houses the data, but it enables us to analyze it and gain deep insights into experiences and produce experiences that can dramatically impact our lives. Some of my favorite examples: we now have the ability to sequence the human genome in less than 1 day. Less than 1 day. And we can use artificial intelligence to take that information and turn it into personalized healthcare recommendations. That's pretty amazing. Another great example is we have the ability to use drones to look for human pathways to aid in search and rescue, right? Covering far more ground, more accurately and quickly than human beings could do on the ground trying to do the same thing. Just remarkable. But to deliver on that, to unleash that promise of those experiences, we've got to help customers and organizations handle new data workloads. We've got to help them respond more quickly to market needs. We've got to help them move seamlessly between the public and the private cloud, right? We've got to help them be more nimble. And we're taking it upon ourselves to work with the partners to help organizations cross what we call the agility gap. So, that's why this summer, we're launching our next generation Xeon processor scalable family platform. And that platform has some of the biggest advancements in the data center that you've seen in a decade. We re-architected this platform family from the grounds up to deliver more scalability, up to 3.9 times more scalability for virtualized workloads. We're also driving greater agility with this platform, and it can scale up to meet customers' needs. And of course, it includes a huge boost in performance, improvements in security, and huge improvements in efficiency. We also continue to innovate and improve our memory technologies and solutions as well that can ensure that data centers can quickly get that data and turn it into useful information and insight. So through our second generation of Intel 3D NAND SSD family for data centers, we can meet the needs of all these new cloud storage solutions, whether that's software-defined storage or converged infrastructure. Okay, thanks, Greg. And today we're launching 2 new SSDs for the data center that will come in either an M.2 or this U.2 package. And with it, companies are going to be able to store more data, and they're going to provide data centers with choice in optimizing capacity, performance, and dramatically improving power efficiency. Hey, thanks, Greg. I appreciate that. Now, the Xeon processor family and the SSD family are a winning combination that we think are really going to help organizations truly unlock the power of the data and modernize their infrastructure. And we're excited to work with more than 450 of our technology partners, many of whom are right here in Taiwan. And as you saw now from the virtuous cycle of growth that I started with at the beginning, our strategy extends far beyond the data center and the cloud. And what I'd like to do now is talk about the next area, which is the Internet of Things. Now, in my mind, the Internet of Things is probably the area where you can see the greatest impact that technology and data can have on delivering more personalized and more immersive experiences. You know, every device, every sensor, every console, that connects to the internet is generating more vast amounts of data that are going to help accelerate that virtuous cycle of growth. And this is especially true in my mind when we think about smart and connected cities. Smart and connected cities is where IoT has the potential to influence how those cities are managed and how they're maintained and how they're planned. Let me show you why this is so important.
It's a phenomenon that has already led to the largest human migration in history. A massive, ongoing rebalancing of the global population, resulting in millions of people a year moving from smaller rural communities to urbanized centers and megacities. And as this trend continues to accelerate the growth of cities worldwide in the coming decades, the challenges of providing and enhancing essential services and support to their citizens will grow right along with them. Fortunately, these are exactly the challenges that smart and connected technologies from Intel and our partners are designed to address. From a citywide pilot program in San Jose, California, to a community building experiment in an urban park in London, England, to intelligent light poles on the streets of Taipei, forward-thinking city governments around the world have already begun to leverage the value of vast new sources of data generated by the Internet of Things. The smart city pole from Changhua Telecom, for instance, not only fulfills the traditional function of a street lamp, but also serves as an intelligent collector of data related to air quality, weather, traffic, and power consumption, demonstrating the dramatic contribution such devices can make to enabling the build-out of smarter, more connected cities, and a better future for all of us.
Now, we're incredibly optimistic about what this technology can do for cities around the globe. And with our industry partners, we're delivering new devices for the connected city of the future. And by empowering those devices, we're going to put the processing capability close to where the activity is happening. And that's critically important because often in cities and smart cities, real-time response is needed. So, to see why, let's take a look at a connected city kiosk that that's called City Beacon. Now, city leaders around the world are replacing their outdated infrastructure, their phone booths, their static signage with smart kiosks like this one. They provide valuable services such as wayfinding, public Wi-Fi, and even emergency alerts. And their solution, based on an Intel reference architecture, includes element of the client, the network at the edge, and the cloud. And it's delivered with components, many of which are built right here in Taiwan. So, let me invite Craig out to give you an idea and to show you how the City Beacon product works. Hey Craig, how's it going?
Hey AB, thanks for having me. So here, let me introduce you to the City Beacon kiosk. And I swear I'm actually pretty tall.
You don't look very tall.
Makes me look really short right next to it. However, let me go ahead and explain it. Imagine this as just being one piece of hundreds of kiosks around the city infrastructure that provides a connected network of connectivity as well as sensor data and really providing the framework for our next generation of digital cities. So let me tell you about what's inside that is packed full of Intel technology. So we have our 3D security cameras with RealSense on top. So not only we can do some pretty advanced video analytics, but also security footage that we can go ahead and send around. And all of this is being powered by a small form factor Intel PC. That allows us to drive all this multimedia content to its multiple high-definition screens, as well as provide remote manageability from wherever you are within the city. And of course, adding a complete sensor network in every single kiosk. Everything from air quality to even seismic events can be measured on these kiosks, which are designed to go ahead and grab a ton of data and then analyze it right here in this form factor.
So, wait a minute, Craig, it looks like we've got a warning detected on the sign.
Okay, it's all right.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, nobody panic. It's a demo earthquake. It's not a real earthquake.
Okay.
Everybody getting out of their chairs.
All right, nobody panic. This is a demo earthquake only, but it gives us a really good explanation about how we can trace back the packet for how useful this sort of kiosk can be for governmental agencies. So when we get a seismic alert, like we have detected on our sensors, that allows, we take that data and can be sent across to all the governmental agencies. Security camera footage is sent directly to the police departments, who analyze that footage at their department and then send the specific footage for incidents or damage reports around the city, so that emergency responders, that's updated to the cloud, and they can use that information to coordinate their efforts all throughout the city. And in this particular kiosk, we're looking at 200 terabytes of data per day that we're able to
200 terabytes a day, oh my gosh.
So this is a
But that's a great solution, Craig. A great example of why you put processing locally with communications, and it allows first responders, even if something's out in the city center or whatever has happened, they can actually see what's going on around this kiosk and respond appropriately.
Exactly, and that level of communication is really what makes this next generation of city smart.
Well, that's fantastic. Thank you very much, Craig. Appreciate it. Thanks. We see so much potential in these kind of products and in this City Beacon product that we want to help even more partners bring them to market. And that's why we've developed a modular reference design for this solution that will be available this September. Okay, furthermore, as cities and homes and IoT devices started to become more prevalent, we recognized kind of one huge challenge, and it became an opportunity, as they often do. My experience currently, manufacturers really struggle sometimes with how to design compute and connectivity into their devices. And that's why we want to fast track an area that we call modular computing with a launch today of the Intel Compute Card. Now, this Intel Compute Card is it's kind of engineering genius in this little package. It's just slightly longer than a credit card. It's obviously very, very thin, right? And it's small in size, but it's not small in its capabilities. This compute card comes with a range of processors from Celeron all the way up to Core, and we've included connectivity and storage right inside this package. And the idea with this modular solution is that it makes it easier for device designers to build compute and connectivity into their hardware, saving them time and energy. It can make devices more easily serviceable, because this module can be ejected and replaced or upgraded with just the push of a button. And then it separates the life cycle of the intelligence in the card from the life cycle of the device that it's in, which we think will ultimately be more optimized and more cost effective. So with that, let me ask Craig to come back out here in a second and show you some of the tremendous support that we're seeing from partners here in Taipei that are listed up on the screen. And we're trying to get more people involved with us on this modular compute journey. Because when you think about all the possibilities of where this compute card can be integrated, I think it's pretty tremendous. So Craig, I know you're here. Why don't we show folks what you can do with a compute card and how it can bring some of these devices to life.
That's perfect. So let me show you some just examples. And here we have a traditional dock, a slim form factor that we have, and it easily, SSD, my bad. I got to give you mine. And here we're easily able to put the compute card in and use it as a full functioning desktop with all the ports that we have in a small form factor like this.
Wow, that's pretty cool.
But we also have something like this product from LG. And this is
beautiful. It's a nice all-in-one.
All-in-one, but it's powered completely by a compute card. It's absolutely the first touch full system that we have here. Right. So we're able to go ahead and easily move through those systems there. But thin and light, something that you can go ahead and take for on the go and easily pop in more compute power.
I can see it right here. The slot's right in the side. The compute card slides in the slot, which is neat.
Exactly, and you go ahead and take that anywhere. Now we have some extra usage models that we want to do away from traditional computing. Let's talk about education. So for something like where we have a slim form factor tiny notebook like this, perfect for students, but it's something where with a quick ejection of the compute card here, while I'm at class, something like this compute card enabled smart whiteboard that we have for classrooms is something with all the presentation materials for a student. They can take this compute card and plug it right in and then power their presentation. All the content transferred right over just in this little form factor.
Wow.
And then when we're done with the presentation, we go ahead and take this card home, plug it into a small form factor desktop like this, and still the same compute card follows all of those devices.
Great uses for a student, clearly. I think that's great.
Exactly, but we're really interested in how interesting and how weird the compute card and modular computing is going to get. So this being the start is a complete industrial design completely fit with a compute card. It's something you can put in automotive or industrial. It allows us to have that hardened form factor so we can put it everywhere. And it really opens the possibilities for appliance manufacturers or someone who's been...
I could clearly think about any kind of white goods that you could design the slot into. It's perfect to go, you know, for this compute card.
Exactly. If you're building a smart fridge or a smart washer and dryer, this is something where, as a manufacturer, I don't have to design my own PCB. I just design the card slot, and then I can go ahead and have an upgradable product for its entire lifetime.
Wow, that's fantastic. Okay,
Thank you very much,
Craig. All right, now I know in this audience, I'm sure the creative energy is flowing, and I just can't wait to see what we can do with this compute card and the different places we can build it. So now I'd like to turn our attention to what is one of the preeminent devices at the edge of the virtuous cycle of growth, and that's the PC. And I think we all would agree that the PC is the ultimate device for creating, consuming, sharing content. And we're seeing renewed innovation in the PC market. And that's not an accident. That's due to the hard work that we all are putting into our devices and building new solutions and experiences that people want and that people care about. And I think it's important, now that we have some momentum established and reestablished, that we continue to deliver devices with better form factors, better connectivity, and of course, leadership performance. And I want to show you some of those right now. So Craig's going to magically appear from the other side. Hi, Craig. So why don't we talk about some of the new devices that are coming to market that you have for us?
Yeah, absolutely. So in a change from what we have for our traditional PCs, let me go ahead and show you what we have in this Yoga 720 from Lenovo, and this is a performance-oriented 2-in-1 machine.
Right.
So not only do you have something that's completely convertible, but something that also houses underneath the hood the full power of our H processor.
So this is an H series high-end mobile, uncompromised performance in this very slim form factor.
That's exactly right. Take it anywhere, use it how you want, but never have to compromise.
Very cool.
And then going to our thin and light designs, this one that we have, this MateBook X from Huawei, is a beautiful thin design. If I can get him unplugged here, there we go. But something that is that thin and sleek.
Wow.
Less than 13 millimeters, fanless design.
So no fan, also super quiet,
yep,
super thin.
Full windows, full performance, everything that you'd want for on the go.
Oh, that's great design.
Now, here's one of my favorites right over here. This is the MSI Vortex G25. Now look at that guy right there. A full VR-ready desktop in that form factor. And you know what's super exciting? VR-ready. And I'm actually wearing last year's design. If you didn't notice.
Oh, it's so
pretty
I love that
here. But in this modular, this is designed to go right into a backpack.
This will slide right into the backpack.
Absolutely. Then I'm off and running. A complete premium wireless experience in VR that I can carry around with me. Also the traditional backpack, or the traditional compute platform as well. And then this one from Acer. Look at this slim gaming notebook. This is the brand new Predator Trident.
Wow. Okay, so I did want to just say, stop for a minute and say this is now the Acer Triton 700 gaming notebook. It's a great, I think it's a great example. It's purpose-built for gamers. H-series mobile Core i7 processor. Full performance, no compromises. Plus, it's VR ready, and it just launched today. So I want to take a moment and just talk about the great work that Intel and Acer have done together for years in the gaming space, and I think they continue to knock the ball out of the park. And I wanted to personally thank Acer CEO Jason Chen for allowing us to have this on stage today. It's just launching today, this product, and I think you all agree that Acer is taking gaming and VR to the next level. So, speaking of taking VR to the next level, I see that Craig has rapidly run over to the other side of the stage. And what you see here on my right is the use of Intel WiGig technology by HTC and using the DisplayLink XR codec to bring a high-fidelity, low-latency wireless VR experience on the HTC Vive. So Craig right now is showing you the first ever public demonstration of the HTC Vive with WiGig, Intel WiGig technology. As you can see, he's got no wires. So Craig, how's that feel? I'm watching you dance around. How's it feel?
I'm kind of busy right now, if you don't mind. But I will tell you, it feels like freedom. Something where if I'm in any VR environment, like this one we have from Valve Sandbox, the Labs, But any VR game, whether you're talking about sports or a first-person shooter, having the freedom of not having to be mindful of where that port is, well, this is the level of immersion that we're looking for the next generation of VR. So if you don't mind,
all right, yeah, you better pay attention so you can. Oh my gosh! All right, good luck, Craig. Keep fighting. And for all of you, I think it's pretty neat. HTC is bringing this to market with us in early 2018. I think it's going to be pretty cool, right? Yes.
Our most powerful and quiet and cool ROG Zephyrus.
Wow, that's an amazing, amazing platform. How you work the thermals, getting the mobile Core i7H processor in there. Yeah, I think it's an amazing system.
It's tough living a double life.
It is kind of, you can live a double life, right? Gamer by, worker by day, gamer by night.
And gamer by night, you're right, yeah.
I like that. Well, I'm really excited to see these new platforms come into stores soon. But I know before you leave, I know you had one more reveal that you wanted to do with us.
That's right, Judy. Intel has been a leader in Connect PC for quite some time. So we are thrilled to partner with you to unveil our brand new 2-in-1 with amazing Intel Core and LTE inside.
Right. Core and LTE.
Yes. And I'm told to keep everything confidential.
Well, it's just friends here in the audience.
But I will give to our lovely audience today a clue. This super thin, light, and stylish 2-in-1 is codenamed Kakuna.
Kakuna.
Yes.
I like that. Wow, it's beautiful. So this has Core processor and LTE. It's always connected in this stylish new 2-in-1. Of course, I think it's really fantastic.
Yeah.
So thank you so much for bringing all this innovation. I love the way you continue to push boundaries at ASUS, and thanks for joining me on stage here at Computex today. We love working with you. Can't wait to see what we do together in the future.
And thank you for the partnership.
Thank you very much. You know, I think that Kakuna platform is a testament to our focus on bringing new devices to market that give people access to their data and their applications anytime, anywhere. And we call that category of devices the always connected PC, and it's an area that we've been innovating in for years now. But we believe that at this moment, as the cost of data plans go down and people's desire for those always connected experiences goes up, this category of device is going to be increasingly relevant. You know, the promise of the always connected PC means that you get the full PC experience, no compromises in that kind of device. And we've been partnering with Microsoft to deliver industry-leading performance, responsiveness, that full uncompromised Windows experience in systems with very long battery life and amazing thin and light designs. And of course, from us, you can expect world-leading LTE and eSIM capabilities so that you can get access to the data and the applications anywhere. Now, there's already more than 30 of these designs in the market, and we're expecting more every day from partners like ASUS, from Acer, from Dell, from Lenovo, and from others. Like I said, there's more coming all the time. So, beyond form factor and beyond connectivity, the other piece that's necessary for a great experience is performance. Now, when I say performance, I'm not just talking about traditional processing power. We all know that nobody likes to wait. It doesn't matter whether you're launching a game or an application or what you're doing, nobody wants to wait. And that's why we delivered Intel Optane memory. It reduces that data bottleneck that can sometimes get in the way of system performance and responsiveness. So instead of me explaining all the details behind Intel Optane memory, I wanted to ask Craig to come out and do a demonstration of what it can do. So Craig, what do you have to show off Intel Optane memory and how it can improve responsiveness?
Yeah, absolutely. So let's go ahead and take a look at one usage model, and that's one of my favorites, gaming, of course. So as we go ahead and launch into that, we want to be able to have the most responsiveness to have for all of our game data. And as a simple scenario, we're just going to go ahead and load into a game. So here I have two machines that are identical. Hard drives, all the other system components, except for over on this side, GB, for you. I've given you the Optane memory machine.
Thank you very much.
Anytime, no worries. And I'm going to take this old guy, which is just your standard vanilla hard drive.
Okay.
So as we go ahead and start the machine, I'm going to have the demo guys kick it off for us. So 1, 2, 3. Okay, and now we're just starting to load into the game. And this is the, Black Desert Online from our friends over at Pearl Abyss.
Right.
And this is not an optimized game.
This is actually one of the most popular games as well, right?
The #1 game in Taiwan for online, and it's something that just came out. So, in a couple, 18 seconds or so, I'm in with the Optane version. And, well, if we're waiting for our other friends to go ahead and group up with us, it's going to take them considerably longer. So maybe we'll wait for them in next round. But the key here, GB, is that this is just one scenario in gaming. Right? Optane is going to accelerate everything that you do, from email to web browsing, productivity applications, everything just out of the box is going to be accelerated for that speed. Keep your own capacity and have the responsiveness that's the promise of Optane.
Wow, fantastic. I think just like that, we've really reduced to the wait time. The wait time's kind of over.
It's over.
And I love it. Thank you very much, Craig. I appreciate it. Thanks. Okay. Thank you, guys. You know, just in April, just last month, we launched Intel Optane memory, and now we're in high volume production. And we're going to continue to expand on the Intel Optane memory family. And we're going to do that later on this year with the launch of our Optane-based SSDs. This is one of them. I'm just going to tease you a little bit. This having Optane memory in a full SSD for the client will happen later this year, and this thing's going to be a monster. It's going to be a game changer. So look forward to launching that later on this year. Okay, and speaking of amazing performance, let's talk about now one of my favorite topics, which is processing power. You know, at Intel, we have a commitment to you all to deliver leadership performing products on an annual cadence. Obviously, we did that last year when we went from 6th generation core to 7th generation core. And we plan to do it again later this year as we move to 8th generation core. Now, earlier this year, you probably heard that we committed to get a 15% performance improvement as we went from 7th generation to 8th generation core, gen over gen. But you know, our engineers, they weren't satisfied with that. They didn't want to stop there. They knew they could do better, and they dug in. And I'm happy to report that 8th generation core is going to deliver more than double that. That's right, more than 30% performance improvement generation over generation from 7th generation core. And as you can see, Craig's bringing me out this laptop. This is a Quanta laptop running 8th generation core, running Windows 10 today. I think we've made great progress on getting this product ready for market later on this year. And in fact, we expect to see the 8th generation core in laptops and in desktops by the holiday season this year. So Craig, thank you very much for bringing that out. Now, in addition to 8th generation core for mainstream uses, we are also developing purpose-built products for the high end of the market. Content creators, mega taskers, and gamers all have one thing in common. They want the best of the best. They need that in order to create, and they need it in order to compete. And collectively, we get really excited about this segment at Intel. We call it the enthusiast segment. And there's examples of experiences like esports that are obvious to see why this segment is experiencing such incredible growth. You know, according to Activate Research, esports will reach approximately 500 million fans, half a billion fans worldwide by 2020. That's going to eclipse popular sports like the NBA or Major League Baseball. That's unbelievable. And though esports is getting worldwide attention today, it's really hot. Obviously, it's not new to all of us and to us at Intel. Back in 2006, as many of you remember, we saw the opportunity to really fuel the passion of this group of enthusiasts and gamers and viewers around the world. So we partnered with the ESL to deliver the Intel Extreme Masters. Now IEM is in its 12th season. It's one of the most prestigious and longest running esports tournament and events in history. And it continues to be a pioneer in esports competition. Last year's championships at Intel Extreme Masters was one of the most viewed esporting events in history. We had 34 million unique esports viewers. 34 million unique viewers. That's more than the final game of the NBA Finals last year. It's unbelievable. And as esports viewership continues to grow, we also see a ton of opportunity to make the competition and the gaming itself more immersive and more exciting. So let me show you that. Now what you just witnessed was one of the first VR esports open competitions that we held at IEM in City just a few weeks ago, and it was featuring the game The Unspoken. We believe bringing VR to esports is going to be really disruptive, and it's going to unlock new opportunities for us all to make exceptional new experiences. And with the newly coined V-Sports, we're going to try to get everyone right into the action. It's going to be more interactive, and it's going to lead to more engaged audiences. Gamers are obviously going to use movement, motion to compete and outplay their opponents, and fans are going to view the competition like they're right there in the action, or even inside the VR experience itself. So from the content to the devices to the processing power, it's going to take us all working together to bring VR to the mainstream in esports. Now, I'm excited to share with you today and announce that we're kicking off things with Oculus, Microsoft, Insomniac Games, Asus, and ESL to produce the first open V-Sports tournament, the Unspoken VR Tournament. In fact, we've just gotten it underway across the US and Canada. And you can all tune in to the Oculus Twitch stream to watch the finals on June 3rd, that's this weekend, as the top 8 finalists battle for the championship and magical dominance in New York City. Now, as I mentioned, creating these immersive, rich experiences isn't easy, and it takes a lot of compute power. For example, one of our partners, 8i, uses 2.5 terabytes of data in an hour to create one holographic image that you see behind me on the screen. Now, what you're seeing is a 3D capture of a real person embedded inside of a virtual world. That process used to take days to generate and process and render, but with the performance of our latest processors, we're helping 8i get that down to just hours. So I think it's easy to see why creators like 8i have an insatiable demand for more performance, and of course, we're going to give it to them. Last year, we were on this stage showing you our first ever 10-core processor. And since that time, we've pushed hard to bring you more than that. And today, I'm thrilled to announce our next generation platform enthusiasts. So, ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming our next generation platform enthusiasts, the new Core X Series platform. This new family will scale from 4 cores all the way up to 12 cores, which means there's now an X Series processor for everyone. And while I could talk about it all day long, and I'd love to do that, it's way more exciting to see it in action. So let me have Craig come out on stage. And Craig, why don't we show the audience a little bit about what the X Series processor can do?
I've been waiting all keynote for these X Series demos. Okay, so you guys might want to grab some cameras because this is going to get good. So here we go. As far as the extreme performance in our X Series, we're able to bring in that performance to usage models that we do today and completely change the game. So in an example, let's go ahead and talk about gaming and streaming, which is something that millions of players do worldwide.
That's right.
Taking that playing experience and being able to share it across the globe socially, well, that's currently what everyone is doing. And so here we have an example of what that looks like today. And just if
I'm familiar with that. Is it like the little picture of the person?
Yeah, I get my webcam view, and then I'd be able to twitch that experience, a little bit of me and a little bit of my gameplay, and be able to send that across the board. But now with VR, it really changes the game. The level of performance and the tools that we need to be able to do this, well, it's almost like advanced video production. So let me go ahead and show how we're doing this today in VR streaming. So if we go ahead and take a look at this example of the binocular view, that was yesterday's view, and believe me, nobody wants to see that at all.
No.
And then we have what we're able to take out today, which is just your standard feed from the game system that you're running, but it looks not so much
flat. It looks pretty flat.
It doesn't look too much different. It doesn't really get across the immersive concept of what VR really brings you. So when we're trying to composite what we want to do for a shareable VR experience, well, in mixed reality, this is what you get. What do you think about that, GB?
Wow, okay. I see April's taking a drink for us back there.
Yep, so that's April from our demo team, and we've actually put her in the newest title, which is from Adult Swim and our friends over at Alchemy Labs. This is the Rick and Morty virtual Rick-cality experience, and it puts April in a virtual sandbox where she can go ahead and make use of all the wacky objects that we have here in this game. But as you can see, no front-person view. We're actually seeing from a third-person perspective.
Now what I was going to say is April's actually live just over there doing this.
Exactly right.
This is not recorded.
You want to go ahead and have her
Can you say hi, April? Yeah.
So there she is. She's just live right here off stage. And what we're able to do with the Power of X series is using standard industry tools like OBS and using Mixcast, which allows us to do some compositing and configuration of the third virtual camera here. You can see that now with all this performance, I can go ahead and compress that down to a shareable and streamable experience. And guys, this is live on Twitch right now. So this is the type of experience that we're going to be able to send over. And
so obviously this takes a lot of performance to do.
That is exactly right. So if we go ahead and bring up what we have for the cores on this, we're looking at not only compositing this across the board, but looking at high quality record local copy and streaming out in 4K quality. You're looking at 100% utilization across all of our cores. And the big thing about this is normally for this production setup, we use multiple PCs.
Yeah, you'd be talking production equipment, multiple systems.
Yeah, I mean specialty boxes just specifically for video. This, with the performance of X Series, we can do it all under one box, and that's the performance we get. Look at all those cores heating up. So this is one of those situations where we could take any core, we could even ratchet the quality higher. So any more performance for the gamer streamer of today in VR, we'll take it, GB.
Great. Hey, thank you, Craig, very much. That's very cool. Thanks. Let's give him a hand. That was very cool. Now, obviously, the Core X Series platform isn't just for gaming. Other enthusiasts like prosumers and content creators need performance in order to create these virtual environments in the first place. So to talk more about that experience and to show us all how creators can take advantage of the new performance of the Core X Series in Unity 2017, I want to invite out Ralph Howard, who's the R&D and head of platforms at Unity Technologies. Hey, Ralph, how are you?
Hi, JB. Thank you for having me. It's been a great show, great new products. Super excited about the new performance pieces. Like you said, creators need great performance to build amazing experience and environments. And some of the stuff that you showed today was made with Unity, and it requires a ton of optimized performance to make these experiences and realities come to life. Now, one of the challenges with creating large immersive environments is the time to change and render lighting in a scene. So, for example, huge amount of data is being processed to create a simple lighting change that can alter the look of every object in an environment.
I think you brought an example of that, right?
Yes, you want to go have a look?
Yeah, let's do it.
So, Craig is backstage. He's actually working this scene as we speak. And this is Unity, and as you can see, Craig is actually changing the lighting in the scene right now.
Yeah, I can see the lighting change, real time as he moves it.
Yeah, so by changing the lighting and changing the objects in the scene, he's actually recalculating all the lighting for the scene. Unity has baked lighting and real-time lighting, and has mixed lighting for both baked and real-time. But one of the things it does here right now is actually that while Craig is manipulating this, here up front you can see that actually we're utilizing, well actually we were so quick that we're already past the moment, but utilize all cores.
Yeah, when you change the lighting, it pegs the cores, recalculates everything, and then bam, you're back in.
And 100% on all cores.
Wow,
so we're actually using the Intel architecture. The more intelligent cores that we can use, the more we will use, the faster the iteration time for the creator will.
Love that kind of challenge. We love that at Intel. So now I understand you can also do some things in terms of viewing it with VR.
Yeah, so right now Craig has actually jumped into the same environment in VR. And what's nice about that he's actually in our editor using VR right now, and together with our editor VR tooling, it's actually possible to create and modify the scene that you're in just the way the user will actually see the content.
So if you're doing content creation, you can right there see exactly what you're editing, move around, look at it, and then come, change it.
Yeah, and that's super important because you need to have that idea of size, of scale, of what things will actually feel and look like.
Right. So I think it's a great example of using performance that's going to really change how developers create content, save them time, tons of time and energy, potentially.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think, now that we've kind of finished up this demo of the scene lighting, what's really great to see, this was a simple example.
Right, yeah.
It's some of the content that actually has been done by a demo team at
That'd
Unity.
be great, yeah.
That actually shows off the potential of the same technology, right? The same technology stack that we're using right now, which is our Atom demo. It's not running yet. Here we go.
There it is.
So again, same technology, lighting calculations done offline for baking.
Well, you can see it with the shadows and how the light is bouncing off of things. It's very lifelike. I mean, it's amazing.
Yeah.
So Ralph, I'm just blown away by what you can do with Unity and what you can do with the power of the X Series platform. Thank you so much for coming out.
No, thank you so much.
Really appreciate
We're super excited to work with you.
Thank you, Ralph. Wow, now that's amazing. What you may not have seen, between the gaming and the content creation, the X Series platform is going to deliver the most scalable platform from 4 to 12 cores with the widest range and for the widest range of customers ever. We've got better single-threaded performance with a feature we call Turbo Boost Max. It's the first time we've ever done a teraflop desktop CPU, which is a huge milestone in computing. And of course, just last night we were able to crush 8 world records, overclocking world records, and 23 global first place records on this platform, which is pretty amazing. We're seeing unbelievable industry support for this platform, and we're seeing great momentum. Actually, I'd like to start over here with a motherboard ecosystem. We've got motherboards for this X Series platform from Asus, from MSI, Gigabyte, EVGA, ASRock, all building platforms, and we've got great momentum out of the chute. In addition, we've got systems from our OEM partners. I wanted to highlight a couple other over here. The first is this HP Omen system, and then right next to it, in case you were wondering, is this new Lenovo Legion system. It actually opens up. You can see it partially open here. Again, all running this new X Series platform, maximum gaming performance, and the ability to game and megatask at the same time. So, what I was going to tell you today, and I have to admit, I have a little bit of a secret. We didn't stop at 12 cores. We didn't stop at 14. We didn't even stop at 16 cores. So right now, you're looking at the industry's first ever 18-core desktop CPU. That's right. That's right.